Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review and join the conversation on Instagram at Candy Washington. Let's go!
Hey everyone, and welcome back to Sugar Pills, your practical guide to self-care. As always, I'm your girl, Candy Washington, and this is your safe space to glow up and step into the most empowered, highest version of yourself. That is right. And as you guys know, I am manifesting this YouTube and podcast channel to go viral, so be sure to share this. Like, rate, review, and subscribe. Also, head over to candywashington.com and pick up some fun merch. We have our love collection. We have some candles and mugs and some books and more for you. So just head over there and check us out. So with that, let's get into it. Today's episode is all about compromising versus settling, right? So how do we know, and this is pretty much in romantic relationships, but we can apply it to anything in life. But I'll give you the principles of it for romantic relationships, and then you can go and reapply that to other things in your life. But for now, and for this episode, romantic relationships. How do you know if you're compromising or if you're settling? So I would say a compromise, you can compromise on a preference, what you prefer. So say you're with a guy and you want to eat Chinese and he wants Italian. Maybe you compromise that you have Chinese tonight, Italian tomorrow, or Italian tonight, Chinese tomorrow, whatever it is. You pick, he pick, whatever. That's a compromise, right? Settling is when you sacrifice your standards for someone. And your standards are, how you want to be treated, how you want to feel in the relationship, and what you want to have. Those are your standards. They could be marriage, financial stability, owning a home, respect, monogamy, like all of those things. Those are standards that you have in your life. So when you settle, it's when you sacrifice on a standard that you have. Compromising is when you find a middle ground when it comes to your preferences. This could also even be when it comes to choosing a partner. He needs to be 6 feet tall. She needs to have blonde hair, or, he needs to be dark skinned. She needs to be, whatever it is. Those are all preferences. Those are not standards, right? So we even have to get clear on what are our preferences in a relationship, and then what are our deal breakers based on what our standards are in a relationship. And that sort of brings me to my first sign that you might be settling. So if you've given up something, if you've sacrificed something that you really, really want, one of your deal breakers you are sacrificing on, that might be a clear sign that you are settling in your relationship. These deal breakers could be, you want to get married, she doesn't. You want kids, he doesn't. You want to live in a certain area of the world because it's really meaningful to you. That could also be a preference. You might want to, you could prefer to live here, but you could live here. So you have to get clear on that one, whether it's you need to live in a certain area in the world for X, Y, and Z, or you want to live in a certain area of the world because of X, Y, Z, because you might be able to compromise on that if it's a preference. But if it is rooted in something that you truly want to experience and have, and that's how you want your life to be led, then that is a standard. So if you have sacrificed one of your deal breakers, whatever they could be, you want a guy who really respects you and this guy disrespects you. You want to be the main girl, as we all should be, but you're actually the side chick, he's married or he isn't faithful. And I'm saying him and her, but interject whatever is with you. This could apply to same sex. This could apply to whatever. So I'm using, him and her, but really just insert whatever resonates and is true and authentic to your particular situation. But I'll probably stick with him and her, but again, use what resonates and what is authentic to you, and I will try to interchange them as much as I can. So yeah, if you really sacrificed a standard that you have, that is a clear sign that you're settling, right? And what happens when you settle is that leads to you being fundamentally unhappy within yourself. And it also leads you to fundamentally resenting your partner. Because the reason why people settle is because they have a limiting core belief, and we'll get to that a little bit later in the episode. But you have a limiting core belief that you are not worthy and deserving and enough of what it is that you actually want. Because people with low self-esteem have a hard time thinking that they deserve good, better, best. They have a hard time believing that they are worthy of what they want. They're worthy of marriage if that's what they want. They're worthy of having, children and financial wellness, or a person or a partner to take care of them, or being loved unconditionally, right? They have a problem with feeling that they deserve this. So if you at your core don't believe you deserve your standards, that you don't deserve to be treated a certain way, that you don't deserve to have certain things, then of course you're going to settle for less than that. But the truth is, everyone at their true core is worthy and is deserving and is valuable and is enough. So when we go against what our true essence is, of course you have discontentment. Of course you have resentment. Of course you have anger. Of course you have unhappiness. Because what you are experiencing is at the exact opposite of what you intrinsically deserve, right? So you deserve everything that you want, but you're settling for this. So of course there's going to be that friction within the gap of what you settled for versus what you actually want and deserve. And then within this space is that inner conflict, that unhappiness, that resentment, that yearning for something more. But because your belief is stuck down here, the life you were meant to live is stuck up here. So that's where that really comes from. And then the second way that you might be settling in your relationship is that you view your partner as a project. You are in love with the fantasy of their potential. You're not actually in love with who they are in this current moment. Of course, we all have ambitions and goals, and we all have dreams that we want to work towards, right? Of course, everyone does. Every couple should, every individual person should. But there's a difference between having goals and aspirations and dreams for your life, and you put plans in place to make that happen, versus being in love with the idea of who someone could be. You need to have the foundation of this person is enough and I am enough as we are. And then together we can build. But not, this person doesn't really have their stuff together. This person isn't really this or that or whatever, but they could be. I can fix them. I can help them, right? This is a good project for me. If you are in love with the fantasy of someone's potential, and when I say fantasy of someone's potential, I'm not saying this person can't be everything in the world, right? But if they're not in that moment, if they don't have those core tenements right now in that moment, you are creating a fantasy person who does not exist. And that's why you have that discontent. That's why you have the resentment. That's why you're exhausted. That's why you're not fulfilled. It's because you are in love with what a person could be, rather than being in love with who the person is. So if your partner is a project, it's a fixer-upper, you're going to fix them up, that is a clear sign that you are settling. Doesn't mean you're not going to get with someone and, of course, have goals and things you want to build toward together, but that foundation has to be there first. The third is that you're secretly jealous and judgmental of other couples that you actually wish you were like. So if you find yourself hating on happy couples, if you find yourself judging other people, if you find yourself being jealous, that's a clear sign that you have settled. that there is something in your relationship and in yourself that you are unhappy with. Because if you are truly happy within yourself and within your relationship, there is no room for jealousy, resentment, or judgment of somebody else's happiness. Oh, they're just faking it. They're doing it for the gram. They can't be that happy. I bet he's this. I bet she's that. If you find yourself hating on somebody else's relationship, that's a clear indication that you probably need to look inward at your own relationship. The fourth sign is that you secretly want to be single, right? This doesn't mean that you don't want your own alone time or you don't want your own identity, you don't want your own life outside of your relationship. You should. Those are all healthy things. But if you find yourself wishing you could date other people, if you find yourself wishing you could just be single, if you found yourself thinking, how can I get out of a relationship? I feel stuck. That is a clear sign that you settled. You're not in a happy, cohesive, secure relationship with someone. That to me seems like you feel like this is it. I can't get out of it. I'm stuck here. This is as good as it's going to get. But you actually want to be on your own, or you actually want to find somebody new. So do yourself a favor, do them a favor, and just break up. The fifth sign is that you're no longer attracted to your partner or inspired by them. Of course, that type of chemistry waxes and wanes at times, but overall, there still should be that attraction. There still should be that, of course, love and friendship, but there still should be that little bit of that spark, that lust. That person should still make you want to be a better version of yourself. That person should still make you feel proud and happy to have them on your arm, If you are finding in your relationship that spark is gone, that attraction is gone, that you don't feel inspired by or proud of your person, if they don't make you want to be better, that is a big sign that either maybe you settled in the beginning and now this is how it's manifesting, or maybe this is just where your relationship has run its course. You don't have, just because you've been in a relationship with someone doesn't mean you have to stay in it if it is no longer serving you. We should not serve relationships as in we're just going to stick it out as long as we can. Our relationships should serve us. They should inspire us. They should fill us up. They should make us want to be the best version of ourselves. So if your partner is not there anymore, that's a clear sign. The sixth sign, and kind of piggybacking off of that, is that you don't respect your partner. If that respect is gone, if that mutual admiration is gone, that is a big sign. Do you not really care? Do you not put the effort in? Are you embarrassed to introduce them to your friends or to bring them to a work function? And this is not to be dismissive of another person or be dismissive of your partner. By no means. I'm just saying, if in your situation you feel this way, then maybe you've settled. Because that person, just the way they are, could be somebody else's everything, right? And you, just the way you are, could be somebody else's everything. So just because two people don't necessarily make the best relationship, that's not saying that there's anything inherently wrong with either person. Just maybe together it doesn't work. So again, give yourself the freedom to go, and also give your other person the freedom to go. But one way to also combat this is make sure you have healthy communication. So if you feel that you've settled, if you feel all these things, unless you already know in your gut, this is it, this is over, move on. But if you feel it's a moment, if you feel that it is able to be saved and you still really love this person and want to be with this person, have the conversations, have that healthy communication, because no relationship is perfect. No person is perfect. So you can have these conversations, and then if you guys get on the same page and you can work together to get your relationship back on track, that is great. So I'm not saying just because, everything isn't perfect, just break up with your partner. Absolutely not. But you have to be clear on you. You have to be clear on what are your actual deal breakers? What are your standards? Are you fundamentally happy? Because there's a difference between being unhappy in a moment or within a situation in a relationship or fundamentally being unhappy in your relationship. So you got to get really clear on you. And when you get clear on you, what you want, what you deserve, how you want to feel, how you're showing up in the relationship as well, then you'll know how to move forward. Maybe it's couples therapy. Maybe it's breaking up. Maybe it's taking a break, whatever it is. But when you're clear on you and when you decide that you are worthy, deserving, and enough for everything that you want in this world, then you'll be able to move accordingly within your own life. And then last but not least, and this again, we've touched upon this earlier in the episode, it's kind of, woven into everything. A sign that you've settled is that you have that limiting self-belief that you don't deserve what you want. That somehow you have to be equal or better than your partner. And I'm particularly talking to the ladies on this one. I think that there are some harmful people out there that's like, oh, well, you're a woman, you want a man with 6+ figures, but you don't. Why do you think you deserve that? You want a man with a car, you don't have one. Why do you think you deserve that? You want a man with a house, you don't have one. Why do you think you deserve that? And I think that that is such harmful and toxic and poisonous thinking. You don't have to be greater than all of these things, in order to be worthy and deserving of the standards that you have for your life. Whether it is same-sex or heterosexual, whatever the dynamic is, this is all inclusive. This is for everyone. If these are the standards that you want within your partner and within your relationship, then you are worthy and deserving of those things. And don't let anyone out there tell you that you're not. Regardless of circumstances, you are worthy and you are deserving. There are plenty of people out there who have lived in apartments and met their partner who have homes, and then they go and have a home together. There are plenty of people out there who don't want to work. They want to be the stay-at-home mom or stay-at-home dad or whatever it is, and that is totally fine. It works for them. There are plenty of people in those dynamics because it's not just about finances and things. It's about mutual respect. It's about mutual admiration. It's about mutual goals. It's about coming together to create a life together, right? Building together. That's what it's really about. And you want a partner who complements you. So it is okay to have standards for your life, how you want to be treated, the type of life that you want to have, what you expect from people and what people can expect from you. And don't let anyone tell you that you are not worthy and deserving, because you are. You are. And you're deserving of all of it. You want to marry a millionaire? You don't have to be a millionaire. If you look at it, plenty of millionaires don't marry millionaires. I'm just making an example, a grandiose example, but that's what it is. But just because you're not a millionaire doesn't mean you don't deserve the life that you have for yourself. Because what that really is just attached to your values. You're not getting your worth from the money, but you know that financial stability and abundance can give you freedom. It can give you safety. It can give you choices. It can give you an easier life. And that's what it's about. It's about what you value. It can give you access to experiences, right? And I'm not saying everybody needs to be a millionaire and all that stuff. Obviously not. But I'm just giving examples. It's the things we want that are in alignment with what we value. Not that we're getting our worth out of cars and homes and money. But we can get what we value out of that. And there's nothing wrong with that. So there you have it. Those are some signs that you might be settling in your relationship, and the difference between settling and compromising, right? So we're not going to settle, but we are going to be flexible and compromise. And again, compromising is when you compromise on a preference. You can find a middle ground there, but you never want to sacrifice your standards. So if you liked this episode, be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe. And of course, I'm manifesting this podcast and YouTube going viral, so be sure to share. check out the show notes where you can shop the Love collection, pick up some great mugs and candles, t-shirts and hoodies, and some of my books. And you can also watch Narcissist on Amazon Prime. So until next time, everybody, be well, take care of yourself and each other. Bye.
Welcome to Sugar Pills, a practical guide to self-care, where your host, writer, actor, and producer Candy Washington helps you live a more joyful life with a cheeky dash of pop culture news. Be sure to subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and join the conversation on Instagram @Candy Washington. Let's go!